Now, by some estimates in Egypt, over 1 million people packed Cairo's main square and surrounding area for Friday prayers before resuming protests. It's the latest show of force to try and make President Hosni Mubarak to leave office. The 11th day of the uprising is being labelled Final Friday by the Egyptian opposition, which has dismissed Mubarak's promise to quit in September. And right now we are looking at live pictures from Cairo's central Tahrir square. It's where thousands have gathered. The crowds there in attendance. They're demanding President Mubarak stands down with immediate effect. All right, now let's get more details on this. We'll cross live to RT's Paula Sleer waiting for us in Cairo. Hi, Paula. So anti-government protesters hope it's the last day of President Mubarak's rule. And by some estimates, over 1 million people have come out on the streets of Cairo. Is this likely, do you think, to be the day that Mubarak actually does step down?
Well, that's certainly the wish of the, as you say, more than 1 million protesters who've come out on the streets across Egypt. I mean, the focal point is in Tahrir Square, which is downtown Cairo, which is where these pictures are from. But there are demonstrations happening in Alexandria, in Suez, in a number of other different cities. The rallying call is the same. This is, protesters say, Mubarak's D-Day. They want him gone by sunset, which is just a few hours away. Now, there have so far been no sign of those pro-Mubarak demonstrations. This doesn't mean that all concerns for violence have been abated, but we're certainly seeing a lot of excitement out of the streets and a lot of a calmer situation. The army is maintaining a presence on the periphery. A short time ago, Amr Musa, who is the Secretary General of the Arab League, did attend the protests in Tahrir Square. People there welcoming him. There were also prayers that were given by imams who were calling for calm. They also said the army was with God because it had promised not to set fire and get involved in these demonstrations. With me, I have Professor Ayman Asqlani from Cairo University. Thank you very much for joining us. Do you think Mubarak will step down today?
We hope for that day. You see, I was born 43 years ago, and I, of course, lived in the time of President Nasser, President Sadat, then President Mubarak. And I can tell you this is a big day in my country's history. We hope that he will listen to the voice of wisdom and he will step down and leave the office today, please.
What do you make of this American involvement? And there's a lot of American diplomatic activity with them speaking now to Suleiman and other top Egyptian officials. Is there a sense that they have betrayed a man who they've backed for 30 years?
Well, you never know. It's politics, you know what I mean? For 30 years, we have the same gentleman, same faces, same policy, okay? And what I think now, what the American trying to do right now is to steal the efforts. And actually what the youth of the April 25th did, they try now to steal their victory and claim it to themselves. But you know, it's the effort and the blood and the screaming and the tiredness of the young people of Egypt.
Why is the American administration not supporting Mubarak anymore?
Because simply, I think Mr. Mubarak has lost his credibility. The entire nation actually thinking that it's time to go. So no credibility, no support. I mean, what are the Americans going to support? Nothing.
Well, what does the average Egyptian make of America's involvement, because they're still so involved in what's going on in internal Egyptian affairs?
It's totally rejected, and people actually in Tahrir Square and every single part of the country calling in the foreign powers, no matter what, I mean, without naming any particular power, to keep away. It's our inner affairs, and we would like to keep it our inner affairs.
Do you think that other regimes in the area are concerned because some of them have been backed by the United States, and here they've seen America turn its back on a former friend? Is there cause for concern among them?
Yes, ma'am. Immediately started actually a reaction in Algeria. As you can see, the president of Algeria has plans to cancel the state of emergency. All right. The cabinet has been changed already a couple of days ago in Amman, Jordan, and now what's happening also in Yemen is an answer. So yes, of course, there is a big reflection in the entire region of Middle East.
Do you think these demonstrations are going to spread? I mean, we're already seeing them spread, but just how far is that influence?
Not quite sure I can tell actually, but you mentioned before that Mr. Amr Moussa is already trying to talk and negotiate with the people, with the protesters in Tahrir Square. I heard also the news that the Minister of Defense is already there, the Field Marshal Tantawi is already there, trying to cut kind of deal. In my opinion, they're trying to keep the dignity of Mubarak going out, with dignity. But protesters are there, believe it or not. They're going to stay there overnight.
How involved is the Muslim Brotherhood? Is this their demonstration?
Well, to be honest, they were not the pioneers, or I mean the leaders of the protesters, but they are there. You can see them. You can see their level of organization. They are kind of there. They are there, but actually they are not number one in the protests. No.
But are there concerns that there is an Islamic element, an extremist element to these demonstrations, and that can spill over across the Middle East?
No, this is a big mistake, actually. I wish the media will not follow that. I wish personally from the media, the international media, to look closely and carefully. No, not that bad. No.
But you read Egyptian politics. How do you read the situation resolving itself?
Well, as I mentioned before, now there is a serious try of cutting sort of deal of letting Mr. Mubarak go out, leave the office with the minimum limit of dignity and respect. And we agree with that. But actually, he has to go down today.